How's it going, everyone? David from dodmedia. If you've ever shot events like weddings on, say, more than one camera, like 2 cameras, 3 cameras, and you forgot to check the date and timestamps before you started shooting to make sure the cameras were synced up, you know just how much of a pain it can be when you're in post and you're trying to go through the selection process, you're trying to edit your photos, and they're just not synced up, they're not aligned chronologically with the order of the event. Well, there's a super simple way to fix that in Lightroom, so let's jump right in. Okay, today's demonstration will be made using my Canon 6D and my wife's Nikon D600. Boo, Nikon. Okay, so I'm gonna go through and make sure that the times are offset. The Canon 6D says it is the 13th of the 2nd, 2018, that is correct, at 11:35. It's half an hour off, but that'll do. And the D600 says it's currently in Islamabad. It's 2018, February 13th, that's correct. And it is 16:35, so that's 5.5 hours offset from now. Then this here is my phone with a stopwatch on it. So what I'm gonna do is shoot off 3 photos on the 6D, then I'm gonna shoot off 3 photos on the D600, and then I'm gonna hold them up together and shoot at the same time. And then the goal will be to sync the times up in Lightroom so that they appear as they were shot and not as the camera thinks they were timed. Okay, let's start the stopwatch. Boom, Canon 6D. Cool, that's 3 shots. D600, 3 shots, and alright, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna focus the 6D because I have the back focus on this. That's easy there, and that way, this one. Ready? 1, 2. That'll do. God, look at that light. That is horrible. As you can probably tell, I don't really like Nikon. Alright, now I'm going to take all the photos from both of those cards, put them in a folder on my hard drive, in the same folder, it doesn't matter, and then import them into Lightroom. Alright, here are all the photos. We've got NEF files, we've got CR2 files. Let's hit import. I'm just adding them, I'm not moving them, I'm not copying them. Just add. Bam. Okay, and you see the problem immediately. The CR2 files appear first, then the NEF files, because the NEF files, as far as Lightroom is aware, were taken 6 hours later or 5 hours later, whatever the time difference is. So here's the simplest way I've found of doing this. I'm just going to increase the size of these thumbnails so I can actually see the time on the clock. Right, so these ones here from 26 to 29 are actually when I was shooting both cameras, right? This one here, if we just hit E, you can see is 26 and 64th of a second. And this one here is 26 and 64, wow, so exactly the same time. That is perfect. Now if I hover over this one, which is the one with, let's say, the accurate time, this was taken at 11:38 and 50 seconds. Whereas this one was taken at 16:37 and 45 seconds. So if you do a quick calculation of that, 11:38 and 50 seconds, 16:37 and 45 seconds, that is 5 hours, 59 minutes and 55 seconds, I think? Yeah, 55 seconds. Okay, 5 hours, 59 minutes and 55 seconds difference between the two. Great. So we're gonna select all of the NEF files. We're gonna highlight the one that we actually want this time to go from. So it's this one here at 37:45. And then we're gonna come up to metadata and edit capture time. And then this window comes up, you've got 3 options. Adjust to a specified time and date, shift by a set number of hours, or change to file creation date for each image. We kind of want to ignore that one. So what you'd want to focus on, depending on how offset the time is on the 2 cameras, if it's exactly by a set number of hours, then you're better off just using this shift by set number of hours. And that way you just say, right, well, I want it to be 3 hours sooner, or 3 hours later, or 10 hours later, that kind of thing. And it will just shift all of the hours in there. But if you're actually dealing with minutes and seconds, then you need to go to adjust to a specified time and date, or date and time. And a lot of people think that by doing this, you're actually going to change all of the pictures to be at that exact time that you put in. But if you read the small print here, modify the capture time stored in the selected photos by entering the correct time adjustment for the photo displayed to the left, which is this one which we highlighted. Other photos, but not videos, will be adjusted by the same amount of time. That doesn't mean that they'll be set to that same time, it just means they'll be shifted by the same amount of time. So instead of 16:37:45, what we want this to be is 11:38:50. All right, let's give this a go. Change all. Bam. You see it's reordered them. And now my 3 Canon files that I shot first, followed by the 3 NEF files that I shot after that, and then my attempt at shooting the 2 at the same time. And so with that, you can go ahead and make your selection, and it's easy, and you can sync up, for example, if you're shooting 2 cameras, one down the bottom of the aisle and one right next to the people getting married, then you can have those so that the events actually happen at the same time in the photos, instead of seeing those offset while you're editing, and ultimately it'll be offset then in the export as well. So it's a nice way to give your clients the photos as they happened instead of as the software thinks they happened. All right, I hope you found this useful when you're shooting with more than one camera and the times happen to be offset. It's super simple to fix that, and it means that your editing process can just be a little bit more streamlined. Give this a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. Hit that subscribe button to get more videos from me at dodmedia. Leave a comment in the comment section if you use a different software to do this. I'd be interested to know. If I find it helpful, you may win something from my store. All right, cheers. Hello.
Hello.
This is a
My
scam.
name's Lenora Hill, and I'm calling from Quick Pro Advice Company. Yeah, I've been informed that you were involved in a car accident that wasn't your fault. Is that right?
Perhaps.
When did that accident happen?
It's actually going to happen tomorrow in the future.